Hello everyone, I'm 48 Nation, and today I'm just gonna have kind of like an uncut rant video, if you guys don't mind. I've never done one of these before, but if you want to listen, you can listen. But this is about the next-gen car, and I've had enough. This next-gen car is just beyond broken at this point. I don't think there's really anything else to describe it. This Darlington race that I just watched, and I know some people are going to enjoy it, but and think that Byron maybe had the best car or whatever, but no, he did not have the best car at all. I don't think so. Not even close. He was maybe a top 5, top 10 car. No. Blaney had the best car by like 10 light years. Reddick was maybe second by, Hamlin, no. He was maybe a top 10 car. Larson, we never even got to see him. Buescher was probably a top 5 car. And yeah, you could just scramble whoever else throughout the field, and I wouldn't know, because the dirty air was beyond, like, you couldn't overcome it at all unless you were Ryan Blaney. You saw it on every single green flag run in the early part of the race. Byron was, like 3 or 4 seconds ahead of second place, whoever it was, like Priest or whoever it was. And then he caught the end of the field. And, at one point, he couldn't even pass Cody Ware. Like, jeez, I just can't even. Like, you guys really think this is good? I don't think so. That race was horrible. It was horrible. And it wasn't even, like, that bad of a race, like, looking at it. The only reason you even had passing was, like, even throughout the field, the only reason you even had passing were cars that were falling off. The Goodyear tires, they can't do anything. Goodyear can't do anything more to fix this car, because they've done enough. The Goodyear tires were perfect for this race. Absolutely perfect. You saw in the stage 1, after Larson's spin, everyone had to run a really long run to the end of the stage. And Byron just dominated because he had the clean air. Priest was, 5 seconds back at some point. And then you saw people like Briscoe, Gibbs, and a few others. They just fell off a cliff. Cindric, I guess, too. Kyle Busch. They just fell off a cliff, while others like Blaney and Reddick just kind of stayed the same. Like, I don't think Blaney actually passed anyone that didn't fall off a cliff. He just kind of, like, rode there. He maybe passed Tyler Reddick, but he couldn't get past anyone else besides them. And that was pretty, like, I was like, man, Blaney's got definitely the fastest car at that point. And then I was like, oh, well, like, Byron's still way out in front, and I don't know if he can even get by him. But by the end of stage 2, I know there was no shot that anyone was going to get past Byron unless some pit strategy, freak yellow, something like that, because holy moly, like, there was no way to pass. No way to pass the leader. No way. It was beyond broken. And then the even worse part was you had people that were like Christopher Bell. He was a 30th place car at one point. Genuinely a 30th place car, battling with Shane Van Gisbergen, who got a 20th place finish. I'll give him that. But holy moly, he ended up being one of the fastest cars on the short run, and then he got in front of William Byron on that final pit stop, and even though he was on like 5 or 6 lap fresher tires than Tyler Reddick, he lost 3 seconds from the time they came off of pit road to when, Reddick finally caught Shane Van Gisbergen in 20th place. Or maybe he didn't even finish 20th, I don't know. But when he caught Shane Van Gisbergen and then slowed up a little bit, and then Brad Keselowski got by him, and then Brad Keselowski realized oh shoot, Tyler Reddick's kind of fast. He's a leader. Maybe I should let him go. But Shane Van Gisbergen was never going to get out of the way because he was a second ahead of him or something like that. A half second. I mean, it was a noticeable gap. It wasn't like Reddick was on his ass or anything like that. And then Blaney just had 15 lap fresher tires, best car all day. So Reddick was stuck in traffic. You might think, oh, well, Blaney passed him in the green. Well, Reddick was stuck in traffic. Of course he was going to pass him. He was in the same air as everyone else. That was the only way. It was like a sprint car race where, if the sprint car race is on a big track, you have to get to lap traffic in order to have any chance of passing the leader. It's comical at this point. NASCAR is not a sprint car race. The tracks aren't Bristol-sized or smaller every week. They just aren't. You can't have that in NASCAR. So we got to fix the car. The car has to be not like this. Not like this. And people call me overreacting for what Homestead looked like as well. No, I'm not overreacting. I don't think so. I think this car it's cooked. It's genuinely cooked. It's not going to get any better from here either. That's the problem. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And let me tell you, we are going to 3 of the worst racetracks in a row. We are going to Bristol Motor Speedway, 3 of the worst racetracks with this car, obviously. Bristol Motor Speedway, which we all know what happened in the fall race last year. Nothing. Yeah, nothing. And unless we have 40-degree temperatures, an overcast day, and the tires, the rubber has to not stick to the racetrack. That's the only reason why that spring race happened, by the way. It was because the rubber did not wear. It did not stick to the racetrack. The rubber basically glided off the racetrack into the top lanes because the tires never warmed up. Thank you for someone explaining that. And then we have Talladega. And you know what Talladega is? 2-wide gridlock. Woohoo! Fuel saving. Yay. 4-wide racing. Real 4-wide racing. And then we all crash on the final lap and some random person wins. Woohoo! So fun. And then we go to Texas. And we all know what Texas is. Woohoo! Texas. And they haven't repaved the turn 3 bump, and so you're not going to be able to go on the outside of that corner because you'll just crash. Oh yeah, woohoo. So maybe we should just run Xfinity cars, I don't know. Yeah, I think the only way to fix this car is restart. I'm just joking. But might be, honestly. But the only way to fix this car is we gotta get the diffuser gone. Not even just, reduce to short track package. No, it has to be gone. Whole thing, a whole underbody, gone. Why? Because the rear end of these cars are so stable right now. That's where all of the downforce is made. There's no downforce made in the front almost. Almost no downforce made in the front. Just the car going over the top of the car is the downforce in the front. So basically, this Gen 6 car was like a rake. It's the same thing as the new Formula 1 cars. It's a rake, where it's like the Xfinity cars too. The front of the car is as low as possible. The back of the car is as high as possible. Not literally, but you know what I'm trying to say. So the air goes underneath of it. On the rear of the car, the air goes underneath the quarter panel, and you get basically less dirty air because of that. With the next gen car, the back of the car is supposed to be as low as possible because you want to squeeze all of that air that's going underneath of it through the diffuser and shoot out the other side. And so what that does is it doesn't allow air to replace the back of the car because the back of the car is all the way down to the floor and you've got no air basically running underneath the back of the car. And this creates a huge, huge pocket of air that just moves out of the car. And you've seen it. I think when Shane Van Gisbergen's engine blew up at the Daytona Fall race last year, it was like, you could see how much like smoke came out of that car. And where it was, like, there was a huge, like, white puff on the side of it, like, next to the wheel. And that's how they can run side by side so well, too, because they have so much air coming off the side of the car, too. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. Like, there has to be something done, because we're not going to go anywhere. I really enjoy watching these Xfinity races and the truck races even. The truck race has dirty air, but it's still not terrible. It's like Gen 6 COT car type dirty air where it's like, it's usable. But the Cup car is just, it's beyond broken at this point. And nothing Goodyear can do to fix it anymore. They've done all they can do. Just, yeah, that's really all I got to say. I mean, gotta do something, because I'm not liking what I'm seeing. It's not like I'm gonna stop watching either. This is my favorite sport of all time. I've invested into it a ton. I've got a YouTube channel dedicated to it. Yeah. I mean, I can watch the other sports like IndyCar and IMSA, but I'm always going to be a NASCAR fan at heart. And it just sucks to see all this happen. And it's just not. It's just not fun. It's not fun. And I'm even a Tyler Reddick fan. And I was rooting for Blaney because I wanted to see someone pass the leader. And he did. And nothing happened. Yeah. Thank you for watching. If you did, bye.